experience has always been a best teacher, and don't get experience in doing wrong thing. Always I advise people, if you get experience, let it be the right experience. You can even get experience in getting losses. You get a point, and that's not what I am meaning. In my previous video, I've been sharing with you on how this farm went completely to zero, and now we are no longer starting it from zero. We are starting it from experience. It means we already have chicks which we are brooding inside there. I will take you inside there. My legs inside there. It's approaching evening. These chicks, they are from Lomond Brown. This brought them today. They have reached there so well. We hurried up. We reached there. We reached here when none of them died. Up to now, we have lost none. The brooding has started, and I will tell you some few things that I think you should always do when you are planning to brood your chicks. The first thing is the preparation. Preparation is very, very vital because this is new life. They have just started their life. The first thing is this particular house of mine is not its first time to accommodate chick in it. So I had reared a chicken here, the one that refused to lay up to 24th week. And then today we brought a new batch, and it does not. It means the room has been contaminated a little bit with the previous batch that we brought here. So what we did is we cleaned it like 1 month ago. After cleaning it, we washed it with a lot of disinfectants, with Nomi, making sure that everything dies. And then after that, we also brought the litter, we disinfected it. We brought everything which was completely disinfected. And now the most crucial thing that I think you can do before you start your brooding is actually heating the room. The room was heated about 2 hours, and currently we also heat the room. Why? Because the birds, they are not supposed to be exposed to the temperature which is in the external. Their temperature is supposed to be maintained in a certain limit. For the first day, you need to maintain it from 41 degrees Celsius, and then you keep reducing it as their feathers keep growing. I'll show you one, though they are still 1 day. I just picked this one randomly, and then you can see the feather is already growing. It means it is not going to take so long for the feathers to grow. It is going to just be within few days the feathers are going to start to grow. And as the feathers grow, you keep reducing on the heat. As you reduce on the heat, the birds keep getting adapted to the environment, because the heating is not going to be always, and it's not going to be forever. It will reach up to the 23rd day, and then you stop heating the room completely. And then there are a few things that I wanted to share with you, which other people normally they don't do it. The first thing that I wanted to share with you is actually the drinkers. You see the number of drinkers that I've put in the chicken house. There are about 15 drinkers inside here. And then these drinkers, they are quite many. Why? Because we need availability. So when we put very many drinkers, it gives coverage. It gives a lot of coverage for the chicks to find water around them, and that is very, very important for their first day. And the second thing, which I think is very, very important, is also the brooder pepper. Though to some extent, very many people always talk about it, and then they consider it like it is cutting cost. Many people, they brood their chick. Even there are some people that I see, they do their brooding on very bare floor, which actually I think is one of the most dangerous things that somebody can do with his chicken, his or her chicken. So why we put brooder pepper is not just because of something which we need pleasurable. It is because it is very, very important. The number one importance of a brooder pepper is to really prevent the birds from getting the dust which is put in the litter. This is deep litter system, and then the litter most of the times it has dust, and then that dust can cause allergy, and at the same time can also cause cough, which you don't need for your birds at this early stage. If you happen to encounter something of that nature, it means their life or their health will be deteriorated, and that's the number one reason why we put the brooder pepper. And the second reason, which I think is the most important reason why you must have a brooder pepper, is look at the birds. What are they doing? And when we look at the drinkers, are you able to see any feeder around? Currently, they are feeding, and they are feeding so rapidly. From morning up to this time, there are 600 birds here. They have already eaten 3 kilograms. I don't know how. I didn't expect this, but I'm just amazed to see something like that. So it means we have scattered feed all over the ground. You can see here, there is feed everywhere. Feed everywhere. Though it is mixing with some bits of poo, but the good thing, they at least know the difference between a feed and the poo by now. And now why we put it everywhere is because we want each and every chick which is already here to find the feed around them. Why? Because the first few days are very, very important. Imagine a chick has never raised a feeder, or maybe has never find where to find food within itself for about 2 days. What kind of life do you expect such a chick to be having in the future? So it means that chick will just be falling sick. With the very little issue will just attack it, and then it will fall sick. That is what we cannot allow in Daudi ALABA's laboratory. I warn people who always think that buying brooder paper is just wastage of time, or maybe we can put things like the newspapers. Those things, I tell you, it is more expensive than this. Let us look at here. At this, next to this drinker, or let us say that one, there is some water which has been split out. And how did the water split? Somebody just stepped next to it, and then the drinker lined a bit, and the water poured onto the brooder paper. Tell me, this water, if it poured on newspaper, do you think it would still remain newspaper? It will just tear off because it is very weak. Brooder paper itself is very, very strong, and then I don't see anything like cutting cost on brooder paper because it is not even expensive. What can I do with 20,000? Is there anything that I can really buy very important with 20,000? Though economists, they say every coin count, and it is performing its duty. Why can't we just provide something like that? And we always become the problem to our own, and then we claim it is maybe witchcraft, maybe it's not meant for you. There is nothing which is meant for anybody. We all go for what it is. And when you see my chick growing successfully, starting to lay very early, these are the few things that I do for the first day. And I'm going to be sleeping here with the chick. I'm not going to sleep anywhere. I'll be sitting with them, watching them eating, watching them drinking. At these first few days, you don't allow your chick to sleep. Don't allow them to doze and sleep. Encourage them. Make sure that they are feeding. Look at this one. They are already dozing. I'm very sure they have eaten a lot of feed. If I can catch one, you realize that the crop is full, completely full. You can even observe. This crop is very big. It is bigger than normal. And to some extent, the chick, okay, the mature bird can die because of excessive gluttony. When they eat too much, and then they will just die. They will die. Their crop will burst. So for the chick, it has never been that case, and you encourage them to eat continuously. So those ones which are dozing, they have already eaten enough. They have water which is mixed with the multivitamin already. The first water was given with the glucose. For now, it's now multivitamin. And then the brooding is going on. I told you it is zero death. We haven't lost any chick. We still have that campaign that we are going to lose none. Zero. We don't want to lose any chick here. So that is what I can be able to tell you about the brooding. And the heating, you must always make sure that you manage it in the behavior. Look at the distribution of the chicken. This side there is no heat source. It is just put in the middle, and next to the heat source they are chick. And also this side where there is no heat source, they are also chick. It means the distribution is very, very perfect. That is what you need to see in your brooder room. And their growth starts right here. If you don't do it so right at this particular moment, you'll never do it right again. So this is only what you can take from me. This is out of experience. I've done this one for quite a number of times. There are different ways of brooding. There are people who use cardboard papers to make circles so that chicken don't combine or maybe pile themselves on corners. It has never been a case with me. So we just do it the way it is. Imagine I have like 30,000 chicks. It means it will be very, very impossible for me to use like the cardboard papers, or maybe the plywood, something of that nature. It will be very, very hard and then labor intensive. So this is how simple I've made it, and then it will always work. If you want to try this, do it the way I've told you, and it will always work for you. And for your safety, The pots, they are very, very important for brooding, and they don't really give enough heat. Make sure that the heat remains constant. Don't alternate the heat. In certain point there is no heat in the room. Another circumstance, there is too much heat. That is very, very bad. Make sure that the stability is maintained. If the external temperature goes very high, also make sure that you also make sure the internal temperature remains constant. That's what I want to teach you here. Thank you so much for watching. We are so amazed that we have started again. It has been so stressful, especially to the owner of the farm, and then we have already cast up. This is going to be another different move. We will always see it here, and in the next video I'm going to be sharing with you the cost that is involved in raising only 500 layers, and that is the max, the minimum that I would advise anybody to start. I will tell you the reasons and the cost, everything on that video. Please don't forget to watch that video. It will be very, very helpful, especially to those who have never started this project and they are very interested, or maybe those who started with lower than that. Thank you so much for watching. Let us see you in the next video.